The original race was stopped after 6 laps because of an accident. The riders are now lining up in the positions they held when the race was stopped after those 6 laps. So it's a 10-lap race with Stu Avant in pole position, number 14, then Cork Wellington, then Keith Ewan, Chris Guy and Steve Parrish. And away we go for a 10-lap race. 19.5 miles of racing down to Redgate for the first time, and it's number 14, Stu Avant, and number 13, Chris Guy, and Chris Guy goes past like a train. Number 13, Chris Guy on the 500 machine. He leads from number 14, Stu Avant, as they come down through Hollywood and Craner curves for the first time, and Chris Guy made an absolute flyer. Number 14, Stu Avant, still holds on to that second place, but it's 13, Chris Guy, with the big G on the back of his leathers, around and up to McLean's for the first time, and quite a lead he's built up in just what, half a lap. Around McLean's, number 14, Stu Avant, then it's Corky Ballington, then Graham Wood and Steve Parrish and Rob McElnay in that order. But the leader at Coppice on lap 1 is number 13, then it's Stu Avant, and number 9 is Cork Ballington. Onto Starkey Straight, accelerating up to maximum speed of about 140 miles an hour. Cork Ballington making a move on the outside, but then tucks in again behind Stu Avant. Guy leads, number 13, 14, Stu Avant from New Zealand second. That's Chris Guy coming in to complete lap number 1. He leads. Stu Avant is second. Number 9, Cork Ballington is third place, and Graham Wood, number 18, is fourth, but Cork Ballington has gone through. Cork Ballington, joint leader of the championship, takes second place from number 14, Stu Avant. Keith Ewan is in 9th position, and he shared the lead in the championship before this race with number 9, Cork Ballington. But it's Chris Guy who's really on song now with his 500cc Suzuki, who's leading the race. Under Starkey's Bridge with Cork Ballington on his tail. Just what, 3 machines lengths between them. Number 14, Stu Avant, is still in third place, and Graham Wood is fourth. But Cork Ballington is now closing on Chris Guy. Then around McLean, Stu Avant, then Graham Wood was number 18. A little wheelie there from number 14, but now will Cork Ballington make his move? Chris Guy leads. Number 9, Cork Ballington in second place. And pulling out now of the slipstream and coming up alongside Chris Guy, and so is Stu Avant. But it's the leader now, the Green Meanie, the Kawasaki of Cork Ballington, but it's weaving all over the place under braking. He corrects it superbly, and he leads now at the end of lap 2 from Chris Guy, number 13, and number 14, Stu Avant. Graham Wood is still in 4th place, and it looked like Steve Parrish in 5th place. Ballington then leads. Guy is second, Avant is third. Around Redgate Corner. Through Hollywood and Craner curves, they're the first 5. And Chris Guy holding on very well. It's a private Suzuki, remember, against the Works Kawasaki, and another Suzuki in the hands of New Zealander Stu Avant, number 14. Ballington, Guy, Avant. That's the order as we come down to McLean's. Second gear corner, around about 70 miles an hour. And Graham Wood and Steve Parrish and Dave Dean, they're the first 6. The leader is lapping on our timing at 1 minute 16.6 seconds. That's just a couple of seconds outside the lap record. And now is the pressure on Chris Guy from Stu Avant as they come down this fastest part of the circuit. And he's coming up alongside, and Stu Avant almost touch. But Stu Avant takes second place, and he's really got to brake hard. Chris Guy tried to go inside him, but Stu Avant holds it. He's in second place, and Graham Wood closing up now on Chris Guy as we complete lap number 3. Ballington from Avant, then it's Guy, and Graham Wood trying to take the inside line and get inside Chris Guy. Does he do it here? No, Chris Guy with the faster line holds on to his 3rd place. Pete Wild is in the pits, we're told, out of this particular race, but Cork Ballington is leading. And increasing his lead slightly, I think, number 14 Avant. And there's Chris Guy and Graham Wood almost side by side, and Graham Wood gets through. Number 18, Graham Wood now leads in 3rd place from Chris Guy, who is relegated to 4th spot. And the first 4, in fact the first 6, are separated by what, about maybe 40 yards or so. That's Graham Wood from Scunthorpe. Chris Guy right behind him. Cork Ballington, a double world champion. He's 4 world championships to his credit. Stu Avant, New Zealand, trying to go around the outside at Coppice. Now he'll dive underneath him, will he? No, but Ballington just tweaks the green meanie and maintains his lead. Number 9, Cork Ballington. Number 14, Stu Avant, first and second. They cross the line now. 4 laps completed, 6 laps to go. And they're pulling away now, I think, slightly from the third place man. Ballington and Avant. South Africa versus New Zealand out in front. I understand there is the slightest threat of drizzle, which could cause 1 or 2 problems, but at the moment the track is still dry. They're down to the old hairpin, opening up a gap now. First and second. Cork Ballington looks over his shoulder. He sees Stu Avant right behind him. Down to McLean's. Phil, I understand that Stu Avant has had a fairly bad accident recently, and he's making a comeback as he going around the outside. He almost lost it there.
He nearly had another bad accident too, didn't he?
Well, he tried. You've got to give him that. What happened there exactly, Phil?
Well, obviously, he was really trying to hang on to Corky there, because Corky's Kawasaki's got about 5 miles an hour on top speed. Obviously, Steele is trying to close that gap. Obviously, feeling a lot more confident now. His leg has improved from a serious accident about 2 months ago.
So Ballington and Stu Avant, that's half distance, 5 laps completed and 5 to go. And the first 4 riders are within just under 2 seconds of each other. The leader is lapping at 1 minute 16.6. And who's going to be the leader, I wonder, at the end of this particular lap, because Stu Avant is really putting the pressure on Cork Ballington. There's the 3rd, 4th and 5th place men just coming into view, and the 6th place man as well, all within Redgate and the old hairpin. Now, Cork Ballington and Stu Avant. Under Starkers Bridge, 110, 120 miles an hour. Braking, changing down through the gearbox as they approach McLean's. And this is where Stu Avant made his big effort last time. He's taking it a little bit more steady that time. The first 5 men are now covered by just 2 seconds. Ballington and Stu Avant trying at the outside at Coppice Corner. Well, it's an unusual place to try, but not quite the right place, Phil.
But he's got to be right in Corky's slipstream down the straight, because this is where Corky gets away with the extra power from the works Kawasaki.
So they're into the chicane, and it's Ballington from Stu Avant. What's just a machine's length between them. They cross the line to complete lap number 6. They've got 4 to go. There's 3rd, 4th. You see the signal boards being handed out to the riders to give them their positions. But Cork Ballington knows exactly where he is, because he's leading. Not by much, but he's out in front, and Stu Avant has all the work to do to try and pass him. Sweeping through Hollywood and Craner curves. Ballington Kawasaki versus Avant on the Suzuki. Around there safely under Starkey's Bridge. And up to McLean's for a change down to 2nd gear and sweep around there at around about 70 miles an hour. And as Avant, well, I think his knee almost touched the ground then. He just straightened it up. He pops a wheelie. He is really trying. And now, watch the tactics here by Stu Avant. A wider line again. He's trying to get right up close. He holds on very well there. They're now 1.8 seconds ahead of the 3rd place man, so they're pulling ahead. But Ballington seems to have it weighed up here at the chicane. The braking of the Kawasaki lets them lead the way through, but Stu Avant is close right up with them. There's got half a machine's length between them. They complete lap number 7. They've got 3 to go now only. That's just under 6 miles of racing. And Ballington leads from Avant. Around Redgate. Increasing their speed gradually as they change up through the gearbox, reaching 110 miles an hour. And then really swoop through Hollywood Craner curves. 3rd and 4th are very close now also. Ballington still leads, though, from number 14, Avant. And closing up now in 3rd and 4th are number 13, Chris Guy, and number 6, Steve Parrish. Around McLean's for the 9th time. The short straight now up to Coppice, and both of them weaving there as they really turn the power on. And what a tremendous round of the championship this is. A wide line again. Time to take the quicker line. Tucking in behind him. I don't think he's close enough to do anything this time, and this is the penultimate lap, the 9th lap, as they come down now to the chicane. Park corner, Avant, no, Ballington holds the line. Cork Ballington leads the way through the chicane, and number 14, Stu Avant, is content with second place at the moment. 9 laps completed. This is the final and 10th lap.
It's vital that Avant on the last lap coming into the chicane is right up with Corky Ballington, and the only place I think he can pass is outbraking him into that last right-hander. Let's see if he can do it.
Well, it's all or nothing effort when you come to the chicane to try and outbreak an experienced rider like Corky Ballington, but let's see what happens. They're already down at the old hairpin for the 10th and final time. Numbers 9, Cork Ballington. Number 14, Stu Avant. Corky again looks over his shoulder, and his pursuer is right with him, Stu Avant. They're coming up to McLean's, a second gear corner. 1 minute 15.9 the last lap for the leader. Stu Avant is closing up, right up with him. This is the 10th and final lap. They've just got Copper's Corner, then Lee Starkey Straight and the Park chicane. Now watch Avant. Will he try to go wide around the outside? He's taking a quicker line, he thinks. He's right up with him. He can't get through. The Kawasaki just accelerates away, and this is the moment. They're coming down now. He's coming, trying to outbreak him. Stu Avant is right up with him. Who's going to outbreak who? Number 14 just dives on the inside. Stu Avant does it. Cork Ballington, can he come back? I don't think it's Stu Avant. Takes the checkered flag. Stu Avant, does he? No, he didn't. He passed him, but then he seemed to slow, and Ballington came through, and Ballington crossed the line first, but Stu Avant did it just exactly where Phil Reed said he would, and lo and behold, Cork Ballington comes through and wins, gets 15 points, and takes a clear lead in the championship. The winner, number 9, Cork Ballington. Second, number 14, Stu Avant. In third place, number 13, Chris Guy. Cork Ballington now has 70 points and a clear lead in the championship overall.
Cork Ballington and Stu Avant, an absolutely fantastic finish. You've had a few minutes to think about it. You still seem to be friends. Cork, tell me about that very last spurt out of the chicane. Somehow you managed to get past Stu again.
Yes, Stuart outbraked me approaching the chicane, and I thought, hell, the only way I'm going to get to the flag before him now is if he makes a bit of a mistake in the middle of the chicane, because when you outbrake somebody like that, generally you have trouble getting through it, and Stu went a little bit wide and left me a gap there, so, you know.
Well, Stuart, did you make a mistake?
Yeah, for sure. It was sort of two parts to it. I did the right thing out braking Cork, and I did the wrong thing in the middle of the corner because I went so slow through it, I had to pick first. And they gave Corky the chance, and you don't have to ask him twice, and he just filled up that hole, and that was it.
When you got off the bike, you could hardly walk. In fact, you've had a bit of trouble with your leg. I believe a football club has helped you a little bit with that.
Yeah, I've been really lucky because I've had some bad ligaments in my knee, and it's messed my racing up for a little while, but the Reading Football Club, Glenn particularly, the physio down there, has helped me walk, and it's really helping my racing at the moment because I've got sort of some newfound confidence, I guess.
Cork, what about this man, Stuart Avant's opposition?
Well, he's riding superbly today, a bit of the old Stu Avant, I think, because a few years back Stuart came over and made a quick name for himself, you know. He's had a few...